The vastness of the universe is terrifying. Endless space. The black hole that swallows everything, and those distant and mysterious northwestern planets can confuse us. Today we're going to explore 6 hellish westward journeys. The first is the Seven Walls of Corot. It's traveling in the west and it has a very peculiar precipitation phenomenon. And unless your umbrella is too supported. Otherwise it doesn't help at all. The Cochrane Wall is a star that rains time-lapse all year round. It is only 1.5 times the size of the Earth. Age is 15 years. Relatively close to us. It's only 489 light-years across. In 2019, when Kalashti was first discovered, scientists believe it is the first rocky exoplanet similar to Earth. However, he was classified as uninhabitable. The probability of survival is 0. If you are lucky enough to witness the sunrise on this planet, it will be the last moment of your life. The light of the morning star in Kolak will turn you to ashes as soon as the sun crosses the horizon. The wall is 60 times closer to the sun than the Earth. So the size of the sun visible in the sky is 360 times that of our sun. Wake up. Daytime temperatures can reach 2,600 degrees Celsius. Enough to melt and vaporize rocks. Then the vaporized rock rises into the upper atmosphere, condenses into fine rubble at the cooler front, and then these little rocks fall back to the ground, known as rockfish. Some theoretical models suggest that the planet may have an ocean of lava. The situation is even more serious. The planet is locked in this position. The side of fire and sulfur always faces the bamboo star. The other side is very cold. Surface temperatures as low as minus 235 degrees Celsius. Astronomers believe that the Colo 7 was originally a gassy star, 100 times larger than Earth. But as it approaches its star, sun peaks continue, thin its gas shell. Eventually, only a rocky core remains. So this is Korachem's unfortunate past and horrific present. I hope the harsh conditions of this world have not deterred you. Because we're going to the next planet. Although the next horror world will not have the same hellish environment. But it's definitely a place you don't want to go near. That is the G1407 ratio. This giant gas planet has rings similar to those of Saturn. But its rings are 200 times larger than Saturn's. Saturn has only 3 main rings. And there are 30 rings from the wall of 1407. More than 176 million kilometers. That's 20% more than the distance from the Earth to the Sun. The radius of Saturn's largest ring is only about 480,000 kilometers. Rings this large can only be formed by the massive destruction of planetary moons. Scientists speculate that from 1407 coins have a mass between 10 and 40 times that of Jupiter. This is a massive object. Its gravity is enough to tear it apart into new ones. Another theory holds that the distance to 1407 is not a gas-gathering star, but a protostar that failed to become a star. At present, there is no consensus in the scientific community on how to correctly classify such celestial bodies. Support for G1407b as another theory for completing the star. A Orbitströschung. Rather than orbiting a common center, like a binary star system. The amazing thing is, the mass of these giant rings is just 7.34 times 10 to the 21st ton. Approaching 5.9 times the mass of the Earth, 10 to the 21st ton. There may have been many amazing and terrifying events in history since 1407. One of them could be a collision with a moon with a mass between Earth and Mars. The collision left behind a great joy. Scientists discovered the planet through these gaps. Through zero-day observation, scientists not only discovered the size of the ring, the exact location of the ring is also determined. Imagine the visual effect of Saturn's rings. It's spectacular. And if we're on G1407, then firearms. What we see is sure to leave us dumbfounded. Now let's get closer. It's about 80 light years from the Sun. There is an object that could be called one of the loneliest planets in the universe. The name of the planet is PSO J388.5212. This planet with this complicated name doesn't orbit its star. It belongs to a special class of planets, rogue planets. These planets are expelled from their planetary systems, now adrift in endless space. The absence of stars has been a blessing for astronomers, because they can directly observe the light of PSO J318 without being obscured by the brilliance of the host star using the PS1 Panoramic Survey Telescope. Scientists were able to take hundreds of infrared photos. These photos reveal that the star is about 8 times the size of Jupiter, and it's even brighter. The change in brightness indicates that it rotates every 5 hours. There are several layers of clouds of varying thickness on the surface. The temperature is about 800 degrees centigrade. By a team of astronomers, observations made with the European Southern Observatory's New Technology Telescope in Chile let them create the first more accurate weather forecast for an object beyond the rising sun. The weather forecast is as follows. It is expected to be a hot and cloudy day. Dust storms with multiple factors. And there may be the arrival of molten ironfish. The estimated age of this planet is around 12 million years. Scientists are still unsure how these planets formed. But they speculate. Such objects may be gas giants that have failed to evolve into stars, or objects expelled from the young star system after encountering another planet and being affected by its attractive forces. Once these planets emerge from the attractive forces, it won't go back to the original system, destined to drift in space, until captured by the attractive forces of another star system. Therefore, the classification of PSO J318 is controversial. Many scientists tend to refer to it as this star. It suggests that it is in a temporary state. Neither a star, it's not the gas giant that we know of. Although scientists have recorded a considerable number of rogue planets. But this is just the beginning of the research. In the future, we may be surprised by the properties of these exotic stars. What follows is a slow death spin. That's WALS 12b. Scientists have called this doomed planet nearly impossible to survive on its surface. The main reason is that the planet is being gradually torn apart by its host star. The debris was thrown into outer space. WALS 12b is a gas planet. That's about twice the radius of Jupiter. However, unlike Jupiter, which takes 12 years to orbit the Sun, WALS 12b orbits its host star in just 1 day. These speeds generate incredible tidal forces on the planet's surface, cause its shape to distort. Scientists estimate that the planet will only survive 10 million years at most under this torment. Then it will completely disintegrate. The resulting cloud of gas and dust is gradually swallowed by the star. In addition, Due to the exchange of material with stars, planets are moving faster. Scientists previously thought that this exchange of matter could only happen between stars. And WAF-12b is the first exoplanet to be confirmed to happen this phenomenon. This attractive force dance brought the planet's temperature to about 2,260 degrees Celsius. Any possibility of life has been eliminated. However, 5 years later, Hubble detects signs of water flow through spectroscopy. Due to the extreme conditions of travel, this discovery is incredible. Another surprising finding was that the surface of a planet may be composed of graphite and diamonds. Because of the high concentration and density of carbon in planets, some media outlets even gave WALS 12 the nickname Diamond Planet. But currently, scientists are more inclined to believe that the carbon in planets is mainly in the form of carbon monoxide and methane. In addition, the 2012 study also found that this planet may have a moon, WAT-12-1. Its radius is estimated to be 6.4 times the radius of the Earth, only 3 times smaller than the radius of the planet itself. We can only guess at the environment on the surface of this satellite, probably no better than its torn neighbor. This next star is full of mystery. We're talking about Falkelhaut coins. Once known as Dagon, a distant world that once existed and never did. Are you already curious? Let's move on. Let's go back to 2004. Hubble Space Telescope discovers a huge disk of cold gas and dust debris. And theories started to emerge about the planet. Includes an estimate of its size. Thought he might be 3 times the size of Jupiter. However, scientists, the giant planet, which should be orbiting one of the brightest rides in the night sky, has never been observed. Fulmenhaut is located relatively nearby, 25 light-years away. It's twice the radius of the Sun. Research shows that Dagon's behavior is very strange. Its speed continues to increase over time. 4 years later, in 2008, the news of the capture arriving under the supply caused a sensation in the scientific community, proved that the planet is much smaller than previously estimated. That's between the Earth and Mars. The faint glow working in the infrared range and his failure to affect Fulmenhaut's debris disk shows his low quality. In addition, the brightness of the work gradually decreases. It's getting bigger. Its orbital motion also does not match the predicted data. Scientists are in a dilemma. They were at a loss for anything astronomy had ever seen before. In 2014, the part-time job disappeared. Although in previous years, this celestial object has been observed all the time. But since 2008, his size gradually increases. It gets a little bit dimmer, until it disappears completely. All of these phenomena contradict scientists' understanding of stars outside the play. Researchers had to revisit the data, draw a new radical conclusion that the planet has never existed. Scientists' new theory proposes the object that was initially mistaken for an exoplanet. It is actually a slowly dissipating dust cloud, formed by the giant collision of 2 asteroids or planetary embryos. This finding is even more surprising. Collisions between 2 small celestial bodies are extremely rare. This collision could have happened in 2004. At that time, Hubble was observing the area near Fulmenhaut. As time goes by, dust starts to spread. Explains the increase in object size and the decrease in brightness. This string of coincidences has puzzled astronomers, created a beautiful legend about part-time work. A strange and unpredictable planet. He is neither like the shape of a planet. It doesn't look like the trajectory of the planets. Unlike the planet, which is in an elliptical orbit of the star, but along an escape trajectory away from the star. Although Foreman-Hot-Coin has lost its status as an exoplanet. But that's not a reason to be disappointed. There are also thousands of known and confirmed off-scenes. The world is waiting for us. They will surely continue to experience us with their terrifying but amazing characteristics. Next, let's travel to a planet that witnessed the early development of the universe. This stunning planet is only 13 light-years away. But his age is estimated at 1150 billion years. It is about 2.5 times the age of the Earth. Just 2 billion years younger than the age of the universe. But it's not just the age of the stars that's impressive. He has shown during his existence that various things can happen are equally striking. The main center of this journey, Caputan, is classified as an infrared star, has an abnormal spectrum. Because of his age, the radiant light is only 1/250 that of our sun. It's about a quarter the mass of the sun. Therefore, scientists believe that the planet lies in a belt of its star. Although it is very close, only 0.168 Tianmen units, closer to the Sun and Mercury. Theoretically, the temperature of the planet's surface allows water to remain liquid. Some estimates suggest that the temperature on the dark side of the planet is about -50 degrees Celsius, and the side facing the star is about 10 degrees centigrade. These parameters affect the Earth Similarity Index. As of the time of video release, the ESR of Captain is 0.67. Similar to planets KUI 40501 and Kepler 6RF. According to estimates, these planets are among the leading candidates for the discovery of alien life forms. Certainly, age alone is not enough to explain the existence of life, but it greatly increases the likelihood of its habitability. The formation of life is a very long and complex process. If 450 billion years is enough for life on Earth to get to the point where you're watching this video right now, so Captain's 1150 billion years might be enough for microbes to appear at least, maybe for years. These ancient life forms have been watching us closely.